And once again, welcome back to my channel Server Gyan. My name is Dr. Lokendra Singh, and today we are going to discuss about very important question, which is that how will you troubleshoot if your application is down? So this is very critical and very important question because this contains multiple components that where to start from. So this is what we are going to discuss within this video. But before starting this video, I would like to request you to please like, share and subscribe to my channel if you are new to this. Okay, so when we say that application is down, what does it mean that application is down? So there are multiple error code which we usually see on browsers. First of all, 300 series, 400 series or 500 series. So there are multiple error codes like 301, 302. So it means there is some redirection problem. And obviously redirection problem will be based on these particular servers. So this is three-tier architecture. First of all is web servers. We have web servers here. Then after we have application servers here. Then after we have databases. Fine. So this is three-tier architecture. Okay. So how does the journey begin for a user? So whenever an actor, it means whether these two actors are going to hit our website. Let's say servergan.com. So first of all, request will come to Route 53. Now Route 53 is working for us as DNS. So whenever any request would come, so that will obviously forward the request to, that will resolve the IP address and that will forward to load balancer. Now this load balancer will accept traffic on port number 80 and 443. So there is one more additional interview question that what are the ports you would like to open on this load balancer. So obviously port 80 and 443 will be opened for public because we do not know that what is going to be IP address of our client. So these are two users, these are our clients, these are customers. So we do not have an idea that what is going to be IP address of these end users. So for sure we will open it for public. Now these are three web servers which we have. So these can be any number. So port number 80 and 443 will be opened here. But from where we are going to open it? So for sure we will open this port 80 and 443 from this security group 1 only. Because these servers are lying behind a production zones. It means there is no public IP address associated and we do not want that anyone should be able to connect to these servers directly. So whosoever has to connect to these servers, so these servers will be connected from this load balancer only. So we will allow this security group for this security group 1. It means if we, as we are aware of, that we can use one security group as reference within another security group. So what we are going to do here is we will whitelist the security group 1 within this security group 2. It means wherever this security group is associated, so those resources will be able to access port 80 and 443 on these web servers. And where is the security group 1 associated with this load balancer? So this load balancer will be able to forward and to accept traffic from these servers. Okay. Now these servers will be managed by this autoscaling, this icon source autoscaling group. So this autoscaling group will manage number of servers. So if new server is created, so by default we have template wherever we have associated this group and this group has a reference for this group. It means whenever new server will be created, if any of these servers goes down and new server is created in place of this server, so definitely that will also allow to accept traffic from this load balancer. Okay. Now we have these application servers. So these application servers are behind another target group. And we will say that all the servers wherever, because obviously we know that port number 7001 or maybe XYZ port is open for our application. So we do not want to accept traffic from any other where. We want that these are production servers and traffic should come via these application servers only. So now what we are going to do here is we will give a reference that whenever all the resources where this security group SG2, wherever this security group is associated, so only those resources are allowed to hit on port number 7001 because these are application servers and application server will get traffic from these web servers only. Fine. So this is how we are going to manage this. Moreover, there is one more interview question which usually comes. Okay, so if new server comes in, so what would happen? So obviously this auto scaling group manage it and the particular launch configuration or launch template, whatever we are going to use. So that will manage the security group reference that whenever new servers are created or old servers are terminated, so that will ensure that new launch servers will have this SG3 with reference of SG2. These servers will not accept traffic directly from load balancer, because that has to come via this particular web server stack. Fine. Now what next? So there is one more interview question, like how do you take backup of this? So for taking backup, either we can take file level backups or we can take entire server backup. Entire server in the sense, for example, this particular web server is running on an EC2 machine. So what we can do here is we can use lifecycle manager. So we have already created a video on lifecycle manager, so you can check that out. So using lifecycle manager, we can take backup of these servers maybe hourly or maybe on daily basis, based on the requirement or based on the criticality of these servers. So if we can reconfigure it, so maybe once in a day is good enough, or if we are really in demand to have very aggressive backup policy, so we can take backup every 2 hours. Same thing goes with this server. So we can take backup of only one server. It is not required to have backup of all the servers. Reason being, if we have backup of one, so we can create AMI out of it, and obviously we can create multiple servers using this auto scaling group. Fine, because we can create AMI of this server, and if it is required to boot new servers from this AMI, so we can associate that AMI with this launch configuration template under this auto scaling group, and that will spin up new servers for us. Fine. Okay, now what next? So there are multiple database servers as well, like we have data master. So that master could be running on your maybe MySQL, Postgres, maybe on MS SQL, or maybe Oracle, or whatever. Fine. So we have master as well as we have slaves. So what do we want here is that we want to configure these servers in such a manner that whenever request comes, so read request should go to slave server and write request should go to master server. So we can have two proxy SQL servers, and we can place them behind a target group, and that target group will be managed by any auto scaling group. So if old servers are terminated, new servers will be created in place. So that is how we can manage that. Moreover, so these proxy SQL servers should accept traffic from these servers only, these application servers, because web servers will directly not connect with these database servers. Moreover, if it is a requirement that we can hit these application server, this particular database from application server directly, if there is a requirement, then what we are going to do here is we will open this particular SG4 for two security groups. First of all, SG3 as well as SG2. If there is a requirement, then we can give two security group as reference for port number 1515. If there is a requirement that we need to open connection from web servers as well as from app servers onto this database, so this is proxy server only. From here, this particular all the servers will be accepting connections. Fine. So this is how we can manage. Moreover, we will take backup of only one server, and if anything goes wrong, so we can create new AMI out of it, and after creating AMI, we can hand it over to this auto scaling group, and that will spin up new server for us. Now let's come to master. There is no auto scaling group placed because it is not recommended to have database servers in auto scaling group. Reason being, because there are some additional configuration where we need to define master, as well as binary log position we need to define when we are going to declare slave. And if this server is under auto scaling group, so it could be possible that auto scaling group may terminate the master, so entire infrastructure can go down. So rather than going for horizontal scaling, this is always recommended to go for vertical scaling, or if horizontal scaling is required, then we should do that manually. Fine. Or if you really have that much scalable infra, so you can have only slaves under auto scaling group, not the master one. Okay, so that's what you will have to manage, that how you are going to configure that. Now there is one more interview question, that how do you take backup of this database? So either you can take full backup, maybe hourly, maybe daily, or whatever you want. So whenever backup is taken, so backup should be initiated from slave server only, because when you are taking backup, so it could be possible that couple of tables are logged for the time being. Okay, so full backup should be initiated from any of slave. Moreover, if you want to have incremental backup, so you can take that backup using binary log or whatever mechanism you want to use. So that should be maybe for 10 minutes, maybe for every 30 minutes, maybe every 5 minutes backup you can take. Now these servers, where from it will accept traffic, first of all from this proxy server, or if there is an additional requirement, then you can open this security group as well. Because we should not consider that we can open a complete series of IP address. For example, we have a CIDR of 10.0.0.0/16. So there could be some testing servers, there could be some server for a pre-prod or whatever. So we should not do that. Reason being, if someone hits a delete query and that query is being triggered from a testing server, so for sure we need to ensure that testing server should not have same security group as this is associated with production server. Fine. Second thing, if we need to provide additional access to these databases, that obviously the slave database should accept connection from some of the office address, or maybe from some additional IP addresses. Reason being, we want to give production access to sometime to business team, to analytics team, so they can also run query on live server. But we should give only read access onto these slaves, because sometimes they need to go for real-time analytics. So we can provide them access. So this security group will allow them to connect via using any VPN or using any jump server. So this server will allow only those users to connect on port 3306 who are coming from this jump server or who are coming through this particular VPN server. Fine. So this security group will allow this VPN server as well as this jump server to access port 3306. Now there is one interview question, that how do you ensure security? So security we have talked about, application security. Now the server security if we talk about, so port 22 will be opened on these servers. Load balancer does not allow us to log in, so there is no need to have port 22 opened. So these application server for configuration, for checking logs and for managing other things, we will allow port 22 on these servers. And on these application server, proxy server, MySQL server, so these servers will allow port 22 either from your office address or from VPN server or from jump server. So port 22 should not be opened for public. If it is opened for public, then definitely that can be a threat for your organization. Fine. Moreover, these servers do not need to have public IP address associated, so no one can log in to these servers directly. When these servers have only private IP address, so either one jump server, or you can call it bastion host, or a VPN server is required to access these servers. Fine. So this is somehow you set up your infrastructure. Sorry. Now the question is, when we are talking about these error codes, so if these are 3.3, so we need to check out here that if there is a wrong redirection working. If it is 400, so we need to check out on these web servers that someone might have misplaced the file, or some path has been modified where no data is available. So first of all, we will log into these servers. We will check. Now what is going to be sequence after log into these servers? First of all, we will check that whether service is running or not. So for checking that, we can use netstat command. So netstat command will provide us two things. First of all, the particular port which is supposed to be opened here, is that working? If that is opened, then which service is running on that? It could be possible someone has misconfigured that. Maybe Apache service is running, but previously our services were running on Nginx. So both uses port 80 and 443. So someone has misconfigured the server. That can be cause of this error. Moreover, we will check disk, that how much disk is available. Then after we will check load on these servers. Then after we will check free memory available on these servers. Fine. So first of all, these steps we will check, and later on we will check the application logs. Find that what logs are being printed. Now, if everything is working fine here on this level, then we will go to our application server. We will check load, CPU, memory, disk space, and if everything seems to be fine, but still our server is working slow, so we will have to check that whether our network is not becoming a bottleneck, whether the particular application has so many files opened. So we will use obviously lsof command. If there is some different error, so we will check the logs of application, and based on that we will perform rest of the stuff. Then after we will check connectivity with database. If the error code is 5xx, so it means definitely there has to be some problem from backend side. Backend means database side. Application is sending request to database, but database is not responding in time. So we will log into database. We will check the current status of database, whether how many connections it is accepting, how many open connections does it have, how many processes are running there, and like load, free memory, and obviously error log, slow query log. So these are the things we will check on application server and on database server as well. Fine. So first of all, what we are going to check? We are going to check load. Then after we are going to check process, then after we are going to check free memory, and finally we will check the application logs. Okay, so disk, load, CPU, memory, and finally log. So these are the things we need to check when we are working with these application servers. And if we have to answer this question, so then definitely you know it now. Then how to answer this question, that how will you troubleshoot if your application is down. So based on this error code, so if it is 3xx, then these servers, if it is 4xx, then these servers, if it is 5xx, then these servers. Fine. So these servers will be responsible to fix your infrastructure. Okay. So I hope this is it for this video, guys. Thank you so very much for watching. Have a good time and happy learning from ServerGyan. If you have any further questions, so please do write in comment box. I shall be happy to assist you on that. Thank you very much. Have a good time. Happy learning.